Hello, Miss Craft. I'm here for our session this week. I just wanted to discuss some of the issues that we talked about last week and to see how you have progressed from last week up until this week. I know the major issues and the major concerns was that you're currently dealing with anxiety and depressive symptoms due to the fact that you feel as though you have nobody around to assist you and you're having to take care of the three kids that you have in the house by yourself. Um, would you be able to just give me an idea of like the things that you try to work on during the week from what I told you last week?
Uh, well, we talked about the breathing and meditating exercises, but uh, that was kind of impossible with three kids and no support system. But um, I did find this thing online. It's called meetups. So there's this group of like moms who kind of meet up to support each other. I haven't gone to one yet, but I don't know. I think it might be a good thing to try.
Okay. I mean, well, with that being said, I know last week that we talked about. I know that you said you don't have a lot of family members that's around, but
Mm-hmm.
remember I stated that you can find supports to help you through your troubled times or people in the same situation as you. Most of the time, we become motivated or inspired by other people around us, and it could be a matter of like you said with these meetups. Some of the parents may give you other tools and techniques to help you to be able to cope with what you're going through currently.
I hope so.
You hope so? Well, I mean, let's not hope so. Let's have a more positive take on it. Granted, I understand I never been through what you're going through, but I can understand what it may feel like to have three kids, to have nobody else to really help you out. However, let's look at it in a strength based perspective. Your kids, you have a newborn baby, you have a 7 year old, and you have a 9 year old. You've been effectively taking care of them by yourself all this time. Granted, it might have been hard, but can you imagine all these other mothers out here, single mothers that couldn't have done half of the stuff you have done for your kids?
Yeah, it certainly hasn't been easy, but I don't know. I find a hard time to step out of what I'm dealing with to consider other people.
Oh,
Everything I have just goes to my kids.
to your kids. But then I also talked to you before about self care and taking time out for yourself. I know that you stated before that you have issues with other people taking care of your kids. But I know that you stated before that you have friends that come to the house. You have friends that help you out with the kids. So what if you actually take a day to yourself to have self care and have one of those friends take care of the kids for at least an hour?
I feel really guilty
Really guilty about what?
not being there.
Not being there. I don't think an hour of you not being around the kids is going to affect them. I think more so that hour is going to be beneficial to you. Granted, the two older ones, as we stated, they go to school, so they already know what that's like. So why not help the baby that's sitting right there? Why not assist him with that transition so when he does go to school, it's not that bad? So we can look at it as a more positive thing and you not feeling guilty.
Oh, I think it might be helpful, but it'll be a process.
Yeah, I mean anything that we do, I've always told you in sessions, anything that we do is gonna take time. For any habit, it typically takes 3 to 4 weeks for that person to break a habit. Do you remember the time when you let your first kid go to school for those 8 hours? Probably was scary, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I was with them for the first 5 to 6 years of their life.
Yeah, but I mean, eventually you had to give them up to the teachers for the whole day. So how did that make you feel during that time period?
Relieved.
Relieved, right? So That's what we need to start looking at is like the positive things that come out of it. And I mean, just keeping a routine. You know how I come and we have our sessions on a weekly basis to keep
Mm-hmm.
that routine. Try to keep the same routine with giving yourself self care each week.
Mm-hmm. Okay, baby.
Because let's look at it this way: the kids can only be as positive and only benefit as much as what you're projecting to them. So if you're not projecting a positive attitude, if you're not giving them that positivity, and you're running yourself to the ground, how do you expect them to display positive behaviors?
Yeah, I guess you're right. I guess I can't pour from an empty glass.
Yep, that's definitely the case. But I mean, even with that being said, what can you say are some of the positive things that you've seen so far in our sessions? Like, I know you stated that you've been trying to work on your communication and trying to find these supports. So, what else do you think you can do?
I actually go out to the meetups,
Go out to the meetups? Okay. Take time to yourself, right?
take some time to myself,
Okay.
maybe get out or find a hobby or something.
Find a hobby, yeah. Or what about even finding things to do with the kids? As I stated, you can go outside, you can do activities with the kids. That's not that demanding on you. The kids have fun and y'all enjoy a day. Go outside. 'Cause I know that recently you were saying that y'all just been staying in the house in a dark seated place.
Yeah, it's easy to keep an eye on them in the house.
Yeah, but I mean, you can also keep them in a confined space when y'all go to the park. I feel like the two older ones. What do you do when the two older ones are outside by themselves, or when they go to school and they're on the playground?
Well, I hope there's an adult watching them.
Yeah, but it's an adult watching your two kids and also watching 20 other kids at one time.
Yeah.
So I mean, even in our sessions, if you want to have sessions where we take the kids to the park and we can have our sessions and actually have two sets of eyes focusing on them at the same time. What do you think about that?
It's worth a try.
Okay. All right. So, in our next session, that's something that we're going to work on. I want you to continue to work on self motivation. I want you to continue on developing ways to gain more supports. And I want you to have more sessions on where you're working on you. Okay?
Okay.
Although you're a mother and you do have these three kids, you need to also focus on your development, your behaviors, and basically inspiring yourself. So we will continue to work on that. Is that okay, Miss Craft?
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing you in the next session, and let's continue to progress on your goals. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
All right.
Mr. Perez.
You're welcome. Have a good day.